Hey everybody, how's it? This is Jeeves here at the Decomposer Lounge. That's right, your old composer dissecting your favorite songs. This is Korn, You'll Never Know. This surfaced quite a few times in the suggestions that you guys leave in the comments, which are so important to me. So thank you very much. And so if, you guys decide you want to support the channel, you want to buy me a cup of coffee, because if there's any ads that run during this, it's copyright claim. It doesn't monetize the channel. So the cup of coffee keeps me zooming so I can keep doing. I should have drank a little more before I did this. Anyhow, the link for the cup of coffee, Korn, Spotify, and merch and everything will be down below. So let's do this. Korn, You'll Never Know. All right.
Watch it all fall down. So the truth you hide. Take the pain inside.
Wow, this is so dynamic. I've heard songs from them in the past where they do that nice special effects, like play something and a special effect, be it a guitar effect. In most cases, it is. It's almost like a signature mark of theirs, I think, or maybe in their earlier stuff. I guess I don't know exactly when this was released, but this is a menacing hook. Here's what I love about this. This is so cool. This is a very menacing riff. So we start in with that whole back and forth between the darkness of the guitar, the effect, and then there's some sequential synth kind of loop stuff that happens intermittently, and I super dig that, because I'm starting to build this rhythm texture, if you would, as the song starts to build. Then we get into the power of it, and when the melody comes in, there is, over this menacing dark riff that they've set up, he's actually singing kind of like a melody that is opposite of the tone of the riff. Let's say the riff is in kind of a dark minor kind of vibe. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's a kind of a chord that makes you feel angry or sad or heavy. But the melody that he's singing kind of has a major aspect, which is kind of a lighter and up and airy kind of vibe. And then it breaks us into this really super stop mark, meaning like the drums and everything is laid back and now all the guitars are kind of swimming and stuff, and they really get into kind of like guiding you through like another part of the journey. It's almost like you're going through tunnels and stuff, and you're hitting this and then you're hitting this, and then as you come out of that, it blasts you with the hook. And then that turnaround before this second verse that's about to happen, that rhythmical turnaround, is absolutely crazy. The way they would just, this is, I'm pumped on this song. Stand by. Here we go. Wait, let me take it back a little more. Stand by.
I fall to its craving. It feeds on the doubt in my heart. Sinking and fading, our feelings I'm saving to fix what I tore all apart. I can't take this, I might break it. Watch it all fall down. You'll never find me. I'm lost. you never find me. I'm lost, 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 you never find me. I'm lost.
All right, I got to stop there. When they get into that section where that build is and the I'm lost and I'm lost and I'm lost, these guys are just such masters of getting you to dig in just to a groove with their riff and just actually power through where you don't need anything else. Like to me, where it's building, I'm lost, I'm lost, I'm lost, I'm lost, and then they sink into that riff. They could have gone on another 30 seconds and I would have been A-okay with it. It just wasn't long enough for me because I started to really sink in it. And then what I love is they drop back in to that little pre-chorus movement where drums drop out, and that's a very unique sound with the guitar that's being played. For a second, it sounded like a mallet instrument of sorts. But I know they're, like I said, they're masters at doing guitar effects and utilizing it to its maximum. And whether it's answer back type stuff, whatever it is, that's insane. But what they just did here that I really dug is they went back into that section with no vocals. So it's the same exact phrasing as it had repeated twice before. This time they do it without vocals, and now it looks like on the way out they're going to power through into it. The sound of the guitars are so beefy and so thick. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when they were miking up, and what it was they were doing back in the day, because there wasn't. I don't know when this was recorded, and I'm sure they're purists in their sounds, so I would have loved to have seen how they mic'd up the amps and stuff, and actually what amps they used. And also something else I want to mention before we finish this is that really super cool. Remember I was just saying that mallet-y kind of sound where they cut everything down and you've got the guitar playing that very cool pattern, and then the vocals come down into this very narrow, no reverb, kind of right in your face right here. That phrase actually is repeating itself through the hook. It's way back there in the mix, but you can hear it. So it was almost like if it's a pre-chorus turnaround, well, maybe it was actually part of the chorus, but what they decided to do is before they hit you over the head with it, they said, well, let's just clear this section here, let's let that sink in, and then let that marinate, and then do the vocals and bring it down and bring the production all the way down to this, and then explode by loading it all up. So, all right, let's finish this out. All right. That was a great way to end the track. That was an absolutely killer way to end that track. So dynamic and stuff. Something else I want to say before I dig out. My feeling in the hook when the harmonies came in, like this was a much richer production than I think the couple of songs that I heard before. And what I mean by that is like in the beginning it sounded like it was really more personal and organic and intimate production. This one has a little more layers to it. It seems like, and where I'm saying that is in the hook, where he's singing. If you listen to some of the vocals, the background vocals there, it did have a little bit of Alice in Chains kind of harmonies in the background vocals. Very musical and stuff. You know, the way these guys have written, at least in the tracks that I've heard, and the only one track that I really knew as a, you know, non-Decomposer guy here from way, way back in the day. What's the one where the bullet flies through everything? I remember that video because the video was so cool and so was the music. Is they're very dynamic in the construction of their songs by using left-right kind of energy, guitar here, effect here, also with the bass arrangements and stuff like that. They definitely have carved out, I think for me, my experience with Korn is that they were of the first to establish themselves with brand new style of production. I think perhaps, you guys tell me when you first heard Korn, or if you're a hardcore Korn fan, try to say that fast, if you would agree with me or not, that they established themselves not only on their songwriting skills, but definitely on their composition and production skills and how they recorded their songs, the style in which they play. Because I can't recall anything quite like that before. But then again, I'm not really steeped in it because my side of the life in the music world is a media composer, you know, and I spent a lot of years doing that. And while I was doing that, I missed out on all the stuff on the other side, which was record, radio, MTV, and all that sort of stuff. So, but I've always been drawn this song, the last song that I did, and then the other couple songs that I know of from the past, to the fact that they have such a powerfully unique style of composition and performance, and also the engineering of that bass, the intention of that bass, you know, being more pyramid in its EQ, really jamming up like the mids, you know, to a place where you really hear the string bouncing off the fretboard, and the picking and the power of it and stuff, and positioning it very uniquely alongside with a very uniquely engineered kit as well, drum kit. So anyhow, for those of you, very few probably, who are still here, type in Korn for the win, or Korn FTW exclamation point in a comment. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Tomorrow I've got stuff. Every time I do that, I say, hey, tomorrow I'm doing this. Something happens, and 50% of the times I don't. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Aloha. All right.